Zealand. Peter has restored this vehicle, but with its original patina, and that is chassis number 20. It's the 20th Land Rover that was ever built. Amazing. And it's the oldest Land Rover chassis. So these are all 80-inch vehicles that are coming in. And then they're being mixed up as they go now. But and this is an ex-army vehicle that's just coming past us now.
How many here this year?
Well, I've lost count actually.
Roughly.
About 200.
Terrific.
Yeah, no, we've had... Our event actually started on Tuesday afternoon that didn't have to travel so far out of Wanaka, and then a longer safari for the later model vehicles, and they've had a really brilliant time. The weather was a bit patchy on Wednesday, but it improved during the week, and yesterday was probably the pick of it.
Well, it's showcased as the maker intended in beautiful countryside down the south here. Once, we want to pick out a few of them here and allow you to keep talking about it naturally, but once their parade is finished here this morning, they're parked up and people can go and have a look at them, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Our parking area is just in behind the behind Alan's vintage tractors there, so directly opposite where the main car display is. Some of these vehicles that are coming in now will, after the parade, will head over to the Shotover four-wheel drive dirt pit and have a bit of a practice through some obstacles there. But many of the others will just go back over beyond display, and people are happy to, you know, we're very willing to talk about them. Land Rover owners love talking about their vehicles.
Well, they've really stood the test of time, haven't they? They've really become an important fabric of the community, but also just they've created their own community. But what they've managed to do and just their capabilities and everything, they're very, very special. And what is it about some of these owners? I mean, some of them must have amazing stories when it comes to their history with the brand as well, and with what they've done with these machines.
Yeah, absolutely. The great thing about particularly the older Land Rovers is that they're so simple. We created a couple of window stickers for vehicles for the week. Our logo for the week was based on Sean Maher's Huey 166, but we also created a very special window sticker for the vehicles and made a banner saying that we're celebrating 75 years of Land Rover turning owners into mechanics.
So now a lot of the owners are lining up here as a part of our kind of commencement of Wheels at Wanaka. So lovely chance to grab a photo here, and they are still coming through into the parade ground.
How many, Rod?
Oh, well, as I say, probably close on 200. We had a practice at this the other night, and the idea is that they come in through gate 1, do one complete circuit, and then pull across the grass, line up as they are, and then when the last vehicle comes past Sean will head out through gate 4 and head back around the loop road. We've only got 15 minutes to get them all in and out, so it'll be a constantly moving event.
How far and wide have people come in New Zealand to be a part of this?
Well, we had a bit of an awards evening last night, and we gave the award to the family who had driven here the furthest in their Land Rover, and they're driven from Kaikohe.
Fantastic. Awesome array of cars here, Murph, and a beautiful selection from different eras.
Well, it is, but we spent a little bit of time yesterday in Little Bluey. Where is it? Over the back there, isn't it?
The back? Yeah, right there.
Yeah. And
56.
How good did it make us feel?
Exactly.
Like I don't even know if I've ever driven one before, and we got in and just very analogue in everything that it does, beautifully capable. But it's a vibe, isn't it, Rod, that you get in when you are driving one of these? I mean, some of the older stuff, clearly not the most refined in vehicle, but the capability and actually now the love of what these people have for them. It's very special, and it's quite warming when you're actually aboard one and driving it. It makes you feel very good.
Yeah, no, they're brilliant. I learned to drive in a Series 1 Land Rover when I was 12 on a Lands and Survey farm in inland North Taranaki, and I've had a lifelong love of them, and Anne and I have owned Land Rovers pretty much all our lives.
Has it gone through? I mean, we have a colleague in Australia who found an old one in a farm paddock there, and it's gone through quite a restoration. it's gone through something of a resurgence too, hasn't it, in its popularity, and even with younger generations too, that's fair to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I used to play with Meccano when I was a kid. An old Land Rover is very much like a Meccano set. But no, they really have gone through a huge resurgence. 2 years ago, we were very fortunate to have the opportunity of having the Oxford Land Rover in New Zealand, which was the very first Land Rover to drive overland from London to Singapore in 1955 and 56. And through knowing the owner in the UK, we managed to get that over here. And we spent virtually 3 months touring that vehicle through New Zealand, courtesy of Jaguar Land Rover New Zealand, who provided the transport between their dealerships. And then we displayed it in each of the dealerships, and the local Land Rover groups were able to take Oxford out and exercise it on weekend trips. That culminated in having Oxford down here at Wheels at Wanaka, and I organised a week-long event very similar to what we've just done, and the number of old Land Rovers that came out of the woodwork was just incredible. And then when we started talking about doing it again, people said, well, yeah, we'll be there, and they are. They're still coming in.
The connection for the brand, I think this may be where Murph is going. I mean, we've seen Her Majesty the late, Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth, very proudly driving one at times. Military, it's been very well represented throughout various military forces too, hasn't it?
Oh yeah. They say that a Land Rover was possibly the first vehicle that was seen in some countries, in some remote places. They'd never seen a vehicle before they saw a Land Rover.
Tell us about some of those military ones that are driving around over there at the moment, coming around in front of the stage over there. Tell us what they are.
Well, the ones with the chopped out guards are known as lightweights. This recreation here, this silver Ford Control, that's just an absolute magnificent job that the owner has done on that, and he stripped off all the paint, and that's just bare polished aluminium now. He's made a marvellous job. When I was a kid at school, I actually had a holiday job at the Tiwira Forest camp, and they used to use those Ford Controls to take us out into the bush to do tree thinning.
Still filing in here to the parade ground, and we'll see you throughout the course of the weekend on a couple of occasions, won't we? Which is tremendous. So some newer generation cars as well. So you've got quite a spread in terms of the different eras, don't we?
Oh yeah, you've got everything from 1948, as I say, the oldest Land Rover in New Zealand is here. The recreation of the first Land Rover ever sold is here, and then coming through the ages. I mean, these are basically still all the series vehicles and the Defender, which developed from the Series 1, 2s and 3s. And then you've got Discos, Range Rovers, Ford Controls. You've got everything right up to the very, very latest Defender. I think the latest one that we've got here is 2022, a late 2022 model.
With that, the new one, when they've sort of gone...
Just coordinating with all of them here in order to try and stay on schedule, because we've got a fair bit to move through this morning, so we're trying to get them all parked up very quickly to kick off things here at Wheels at Wanaka, and a beautiful celebration, Murph, to kind of open things.
What a community.
Yeah.
You know, again, just highlights the passion for wheels, as Alan was saying earlier,
and
in New Zealand, and from so many different aspects of it as well. More of a modern Discovery coming through there, probably the most modern vehicle here.
That we can see, yeah. That might be one of the last few, Rod, that are coming through. We're just waiting for the final ones to park up here in the centre of the Highlands Parade Ground. Great opportunity to grab a photo. If you're on the far side over there, near the BFX Brewing area there, beautiful photo of them all lined up here in the parade ground. Rod's just making sure that we've got all of the key people in the ground here. I think we're nearly on time too, which is amazing. So,
well planned out. Well done. What a great way to start the weekend here at Wheels at Wanaka 2023. What is actually next, Rusty? What's following up after?
Tractors and crawlers coming up at 9:30 here in the parade ground. They'll be parading at 9:40. Of course, Terracat Earth Moving Pit, Murph.
Yeah, 9:15 would have kicked off now. Pre-1960s and vintage earth moving. We were over there yesterday, weren't we, Rusty?
Brilliant.
It does actually have it in the description of what's going on over there, the word mesmerising.
Yeah.
And it is quite mesmerising, sitting there watching these massive machines just move dirt around so effortlessly and seamlessly. It's if you haven't been over there to see, you must get over there and have a look at what's going on in the Terracat Earth Moving Pit.
Don't forget, of course, too, the Class Harvest Centre tractor and truck pull. Round 1 happening at 10 a.m. this morning. They're directly behind us here where the tractor and truck pull arena is set up, if you like. So I just that's at 10 a.m. And very shortly, Murph, bit of action happening on 2 wheels as well.
Yeah, if you're into 2 wheels, I think just about all of us are. Head over to the Wanaka Power Sports Dirt Pit, over towards the backside of the facility, towards Wanaka. 9:30. Kicking off, actually.
Is it semis round 1 there, where we've got the Shista Duro Cross by CDL building there? So anyway, the main thing is in that 2-wheel area, which also accompanies or is just to the side of where you'll see Murph and Ari Pettigrew and
starting at 10 a.m. is the first practice. They'll be running around over there. They've got most of the semis and finals are tomorrow, but they'll be kicking off. That is an incredibly well-built facility over there. Bone-breaking facility, if you get it wrong, off on 2 wheels over the back there.
Quite a show. Alan Dippy is back with us. I think he's got the microphone there. What a roll-up. What a lovely way for you and the team to start Wheels at Wanaka. Congratulations.
Well, it's very fitting that we start with Land Rovers, because if you think back, you know, and you're celebrating the history of farming as we're about to do with tractors, the farmers often, that was the go-to vehicle. It was really the only four-wheel drive, and it was the only way to get around a lot of hill country farms. So more often than not, farmers had a Land Rover, and they started with a Land Rover, and it probably wasn't until the 70s when the Toyota Land Cruiser came along. And I don't like mentioning that in front of all these Land Rover owners. The Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40 was, of course, an incredible machine as well.
Yeah.
And
but this was the choice. This was the go-to.
This was the go-to for so many farmers, feeding out hay in the winter, all that sort of thing, where no other vehicle would go.
Would it be fair then to say that this set the tone for other manufacturers? Land Rover set the tone for what other manufacturers decided to try and go the path they went down in many aspects?
Yeah, right through to when you think how many cars are four-wheel drive today, and the Subaru started that trend, didn't they, with the four-wheel drive cars, and you think of all the cars that you buy today that are four-wheel drive, all the crossovers. So you're right, it was really very, very, very front-running stuff. Now the tractors are about to come in. We're going to have a real mix-up here between tractors and land. It's going to be a fight between the tractors.
Because you are keeping the show rolling, aren't you?
We keep it rolling on time, so the gates are open and the tractors will come around. We might just have to hold the first tractor until all the Land Rovers are left.
I think they're slowly making their way into the parade ground.
Yeah.
Can we just quickly make the point too that there are tractors doing special trips for people if they want to go around the venue. You can go for almost like a taxi or an Uber around.
Yes, it's clockwise this year, and it's around the whole perimeter, and you can just get on a little shuttle of all sorts of different trailers and things, and they'll take you to the next part of the shows, because it's 50 or 60 acres here of entertainment, so it's you can walk a few miles in a day. So the little tractors coming in now, headed by a couple of Farmall tractors, and the little Fergies behind, some Alice Chalmers we can see, a little Oliver OC3 crawler. That's what I started my business with.
Did you?
Yeah, little Oliver crawler. There's John Deere there. This is going to be a fantastic tractor show. All the tractor drivers trained up, and a big thanks to them. It's taken us about a week to get these tractors awake again. So we've woken them up after 2 years in many cases. Got them ready and primed up and tuned to perfection, running smoothly. So I've had a big team of tractor drivers, and they've been a great help during the week to get all these tractors out of the tractor shed, and then a huge influx of other tractors coming to join my tractors from all around New Zealand. And this is going to be one heck of a tractor display. The tractor drivers in their green jackets really looking forward to their parades, and you just look at the smile on the faces of these tractor drivers. And what is a really nice thing is some of the drivers that are driving tractors today are driving tractors from their farms. Some of them are the original owners, some of them are the grandchildren of the original owners, so they've come back to drive their own family tractors, and I think that's a rather...
They've had roadworks involvement and all sorts across New Zealand, haven't they?
Yeah, some of them have done a huge amount of hours. These aren't the old tractors. You'll see them with the steam engines and the steel wheel tractors. These are kind of your classic tractor era from 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, and through to about 1970. And we can see a few little crawlers, a few little caterpillar crawlers. They broke in a lot of farms coming up the inside now. They'd be trying to get ahead of everyone else. There's a lot of there's going to be a lot of rivalry here going around the circuit, and we can just about let them go. Come forward, farmers, and start the tractor parade.
Please be generous in your applause too, as our celebration of 75 years of Land Rover, the last of them leaving the Highlands Parade Ground. Now we're about to get into tractors and crawlers. If you're enjoying your time here at Wheels at Wanaka, we would love you to share it on social media too, please. We've got a great team looking after that for us right around the venue. So tag us if you can, if you're taking a photo with one of these very special tractors. Make sure you share it at Wheels at Wanaka, and use that same hashtag as well.
Rusty, a good friend of ours, is here this weekend. The CEO of Highlands Motorsport Park, Josie Spillane, who just sent a text through reminding us to call it the Highlands Parade Ground. She wants to make sure she's getting her money's worth this weekend.
Message received.
Here at Wheels at Wanaka. So the Highlands Parade Ground, and we'll repeat that a lot over the next
Thank you, Highlands, for your very generous sponsorship of our parade ground, and thank you, Highlands, for all that you do. And they've got some pretty special and significant cars coming to parade today as well, and we're going to have a few surprises for you there. Right, we can move the tractors forward, John.